everybody, hello. Thank you for joining me again on my YouTube channel. It's so nice. We've had quite a lot of new subscribers, and welcome to you all. Of course, welcome to my old friends. It's nice to see you back again. We are in the process of dismantling one of these. Oh, there's another page I didn't know I had. One of these, Edith Holden's Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady. And if you haven't heard of this over the last 10 years or so in the junk journal world, where have you been? She's caused quite a stir and continues. She's very, very popular. The lady herself died in the early 1900s, I believe. But she left behind some fabulous diaries, illustrated diaries, and her great niece, I think, took the diaries to a publisher and made them into these fabulous books with all these glorious illustrations that Edith did herself. And she not only did this one, the Country Diary, but she did a one called Nature Notes. And Nature Notes, a bit more difficult to get hold of. This can be tricky at times, but you can if you're persistent. But the Nature Notes, that's a different story. You really have got to be Sherlock Holmes at times to find that one. But we are using this one, the Country Diary, and what I'm doing every day, well, not every day, every so often, is I'm taking another signature out and I'm doing it signature by signature. Now, for those of you that are new, and I know we do have a lot of new people at the moment, a signature is just a group of pages that's folded together, like we've got one here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So those pages, they were twice that size, they were this size. They were folded together and then sewn into the spine of the book, this part of the book, with stitches. And when we get round to it, I'll show you the stitches, but perhaps you can just make them out. Just there's a stitch. And so I am using a signature at a time, because honestly, if I took all the pages out, I'd get completely flummoxed and I wouldn't know which way was up. And I find that difficult enough at times, so I'm doing it signature by signature. That way then, hopefully we won't get too muddled up. So the signature I'm working on at the moment is, I think, the third signature in the book. Let's look at what we've got. Oh, it's glorious. There's butterflies. This I really love. I love the primroses and the little dog violet. Beautiful. And look at that with the cowslips. Gorgeous. And the other thing about the Edith books is the text. The text is so gorgeous. It's in brown, which helps, but it's really, really nice. And this copy, actually, a lot of them do. It's of an age where it's begun to yellow around the edges. So we've got that lovely distressed look already, really. So that's that one. Then I've got this page, which is so nice I can't cut into it, but I will at some stage. Then this one. Beautiful. And this, which is a page of text, and it's got this on the other side. Now, this was joined to a page here that had snakes on it. I am not the biggest snake lover in the world. I appreciate them. I know they do a good job, but just do it somewhere where I'm not, please. I don't like them. I just don't like them. I know some people are really into reptiles and stuff, and I can understand that they're interesting, but I just don't like them. So I took the page with the snakes on and I backed it with some cream card, and then I die cut a load of stuff. So the snakes will be in the book, but they're hidden. So I used Tim Holtz chapter 3. I used the specimen. There are 3 sort of, let's see if I've got them here, I can show you. They were on the missing list, but I found them in a very safe place. Yeah, that's the one that I used this morning. That's called Specimen. You can see it's got a file folio, a little, what do you call those? Like a transparency holder. This, which is a tab top, which for a long time in my set was on the missing list, but it's been located. It's this one here. If I can pick it up. That one. It's got 3 sort of labels, journaling cards, or you could put that on top of that and cut a window out with it. Then it's got a series of words and a series of letters, of numbers. I didn't cut the words and the numbers out. They don't fit in really. It's got this book plate and the labels that go into the book plate or on the book plate, and 2 little squiggly bits there. So that's that one. This is the next one. It's got an envelope. It's called Postal, this chapter 3 one. It's got an envelope, the heart, the pointy finger, lots of things. We'll cover that further when we cut that one out. And this is the other one, the coin envelope. Similarly, this one's got prize ribbon on it. Should say first. It's got numbers, labels or cutouts if that's what you want. The coin envelope and the little tag that goes into there. So they're all gorgeous. At the same time as I bought those, Tim released this alphabet die set as well. It's just my favourite alphabet. I love it. It's called Alphanumeric Theory. And when we get further into Edith, etc., I'll show you how that works and what it looks like. But it's really a lovely alphabet. So these, as I say, is what I cut out this morning. Some of them have got mixed up with the day before's, but that's basically, I think they're from the day before. Yeah, that's one of the little bits on it. I cut out quite a lot of these because I could imagine that the tags, you could use those up quite quickly. So there we are. It was a full set. They're all around. I put them in this little bag actually to keep them safe because I know that I would lose them. Just know it. So they all go back in there. So that I thought was the best use that I could make of the sneaky page. So many little dies, but yet they're really interesting, and they cut so well on the with the tiny Timmy with the little sidekick. They all go through, apart from the big one. It doesn't go through, and you'd need something like my new Gemini MIDI or a Big Shot or something like that for the actual file folder, the envelope and the coin envelope. Those 3 dies are the only ones that won't go through the sidekick. Okay, let's get on to today. Enough prattling, eh? Now this just says to me it needs to be in 2 journaling cards. It's so gorgeous. I don't want to mess it up in any way. So let's just tear that off and make 2 journaling cards with it. That's what to do. Edith is actually quite a tall book. It's just over 9 inches, just a touch over 9, which is too tall for anybody's journal, but we'll cut it down a bit first. Well, I'm saying for anybody's journal. I don't know what size journal you're making. You could be making a massive journal. So I think I'm going to put the light on my chopper. I think about there is good, and that would mean this tag would be, it's on about 3.5, and it's got a fluffy edge here that I need to cut off. So it'd be about 3.25, which I think would be fine, and that would leave me 3.5 for the other one. Yeah, I think that's fine. So let's do that. There we are. And then there were 2. So I'm just going to trim the fluffy edge off here from where I've just torn it. see if I can get that to 3 1/4. I think so. Yeah, that's lovely. And I might just take a little bit down there just to sort of centralise that nettle a bit more. I don't want to take it off just for the sake of it, but I think it might look better. I want to keep the number as well. There we go. Right, so let's have a look and see what we can do about the height. So I could lose that top bit, no problem, couldn't I? So that I could cut that to there, and that would bring it down to 8. Still a bit large, so I could lose the text at the bottom. Let's do that. And if I lose all of that text, it's just light of 7 inches. I think that's good. I'm happy with that. That's nice. In fact, it's beautiful. So keep all your remnants. If this is your first time watching me doing this, keep all of your remnants or offcuts, whatever you call them. They're not scrap, by the way. This is Edith. We do not have scrap. And I'll show you how to use those in a... Come on, lights, you're being naughty. In a later film, video. Get your words out, girl. There we go. So that's about 7 5/8. But I think that's nice. It would fit in a journal, I think. I think so. So let's just pop that away then for the time being. And I'm going to make them into journaling cards. So I want to stick them onto something fairly sturdy. I've only got this side because I somehow, don't ask me how, but I ran over it with my chair. And things that I run over with my chair seldom come off very well. I think that'll be all right. So let's stick those on then. I can't remember actually if I showed you all the pieces that I made from the masterboard. I don't think I did, because I showed you what I was going to do with them, but I don't think I showed you the version of them finished, you know, all inked around and sewn around. Get those out in a second, show you. So let's just place that down. Now, am I going to get that in there before? Yes. Before the scrubby bit. It is a terrible shame hiding all this goodness on the back, but we have to put some journaling in somewhere, and you have to make a decision which side you're going to keep. Somebody, I can't remember who it was now, came up with the idea of using 2 books. It might have been Tony actually. 2 books simultaneously. So you've got the best of both worlds. You can use both sides. Now, isn't that a genius idea? But for that, of course, you'd need to have 2 books. So there we go. So I'll just give that a minute or 2 to dry while I show you the spoils from the masterboard. Let's put those away. Well, put them on there. Yeah, I think this is it. I think the rest you've seen before. Just pop those to one side. Stay. Yeah, there's all the little ones. They're all sewn round now. That one, which looks lovely. So we've got a variety of sizes, which is great. That's what you want. Journaling card, slightly larger journaling card, slightly larger journaling card, so they're going up, and then a very large tag. I can't remember what else I made with it. I'm pretty sure I made more, but that's basically... Oh yeah, I made a load of little things as well. But that's basically that. So we've got some nice good things. And what they are made from, for, you know, again, people that are new to watching this, are these bits here and other remnants. And we stick them all on a piece of paper, then cut them out. That's basically it. So we're getting, look at our basket. Look at our basket, how full it is. Woohoo! Nice, isn't it? That came out of something. Right, so I thought what we might do is make a little booklet or a book of some sort. I could use that. I think I quite like the idea of using that. Yeah, let's do that. What's on the other side of this? Yeah, no, I'm going to go with, just going to tear that down carefully. I don't want it to go rogue on me. Right, so look at that lovely text. I don't really want to cover that up. It's just too nice, actually. So what I'm going to do is trim off this fluffy bit that I've just torn. I want as much as I can, so there we go. And then I'm going to cut it about there. That will mean that I've got a couple of bits of word, you know, text there, but that's okay. And then I've got the names down here. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. There we go, and that leaves us that piece. It's lovely. Okay. So this is going to be our little notebook. It's going to fold like that. So this is going to be the front. And then when you open it up, that'll be obviously the back of the front. I don't think I need to cover that. I really like it. So I'm going to ink around there and stitch around there. Let's ink it first. So I'm using my frayed burlap ink. If you didn't see yesterday's video, it was a comparison of the different browns and the distress inks and oxides. And I haven't got that many, so it was a limited comparison. But some things were surprising. For example, the brushed corduroy that I don't think I've ever used in my life turned out to be a yellow ochre, which I could use. I think that would be a really interesting colour to use. So yeah, that came out of it. And gathered twigs. Who knew gathered twigs was such a gorgeous colour? Not I. So I'm just going to ink around this, and I'm going to cut my two journaling cards out, and then I'm going to go and sew through. Yeah, I'm going to sew through. I'm going to sew around the cover for this book here and my journaling cards. There we go. I'm not going to round the corners because I want the pages to come up quite close to them. I'm just going to fold that over like that and just ink down there as well. Actually, that needs pressing in properly like that. Stop being so lazy. There we go, that's that. So that's going to be our booklet. Isn't it pretty? And you know, if you are the person that ends up with this, or if you're following along with me with your book, a label there would look nice, really nice. Or maybe just some field notes, stamp sets, you know, use some of those. I have a feeling that in the very near future, depending on what my arrival from Amazon is, I might be decorating a piece of this ephemera tomorrow or the next day, depends when Amazon comes. So I need some papers to put in here. So let's have a look at what I've got that's already cut down. That's going the wrong way, so I don't really want that. I have got a piece of that. What else have I got? So you can put any papers in here, you absolutely can. I've got a piece of that, and I've got a piece of this absolutely beautiful, beautiful coffee stained paper that was sent to me from Karen Cooper, and I use it so sparingly because I absolutely adore it. But today might be the day. Right, so let's start with this piece. So I want it just in from the edges a little bit, maybe 1/8 of an inch, maybe that much I would say, and make a mark where your 1/8 of an inch is, and then go from side to side, 1/8 of an inch in as well. There we go, and mark that. So that's ready to be cut. I'll probably get 2 pieces out of that actually, but we'll see. We'll go for 1 at the moment. This is beautiful, beautiful paper from the very, very beautiful Keong Shotwell. Go and have a look at her YouTube channel. She's an absolute darling. She's just gorgeous. And this one, let's have a look at it. Yeah, just needs a little bit off it there. They don't all have to be this height. You can make them thinner, you know, if you want to. Just so happens I've got enough paper here. I'm going to do this one this way, it'll waste less paper. So just in from the edge like that. Make your mark. Mark that one. And then my prized possession. Oh my goodness. I'm glad I'm only using half of it. It's so lovely. There and there. Lovely. So let's chop those out. And I'm not going to ink around mine. I don't think it's necessary. Where's my other mark then? Which side's it on? Don't think it's on that side. Ah, there it is. There it is. Great, so that's one. I mean, we don't want to make this, you know, the biggest book in the world. But if you're going to do one, you might as well put some papers in that people can use to journal on. Wrong piece. If you want to, you can tear these. It does give a nice look to your little book. And don't worry about the remnants. The remnants will always get used up. You know, for backing things or all sorts of ways you can use remnants up. This one from Keong, all the way from America. Beautiful coffee stained paper. She sent it ages ago, you know, but I just save it. Save it for the right project. And then this is our last piece. and then we shall form a signature from them. There we go. Right, let's put that there. These really are remnants. Actually, that is too much of a remnant even for me. And I do keep little bits. These are quality remnants. They might come in if we were to do another little notebook. So let's just see if we've got all these right. I think I'll have that as my centre page. Then the lined page. Then that one. Then that one. And then Kyung's that way. Right, so they should all fold in half and fit into our book. So let's just check that that is the case. It's actually easier. I was going to cheat there, but it's not a good way to do it. It's much easier if you do this page by page. And then you know you've got them done accurately. And they should fit. That one doesn't look straight to me, but we'll see. It might be straight enough. This page has just been, it's cream copier paper actually, very light cream, and it's just been splashed with coffee. This is just straight up coffee stained, which is very nice. And this one, which is going to be the one you see when you open the book. There we go. So let's pop those in together. As I said, I'm not going to ink round mine. You can, of course, ink round yours. Right, so there we have it. There's our signature. This is now a signature. Folds over. And what you'll find, and you'll find this on any journal that you do, when you fold pages, because of the tightness of the lack of room in there, should I say, that each page creeps further and further along just a little bit, and you end up with this very uneven edge here. Now, I don't like that. Plenty of people leave it. You know, it's not the end of the world if you leave it, especially on something as little as this, but I just don't like it. So I'm going to chop it off. So I'm going to get my quilting ruler. You can use any ruler you like. And I'm going to get my craft knife. You can use a rotary cutter or whatever it is that you generally cut with. And I'm going to just line that up on the spine. Mine measures just a hair over 3 1/4. Make sure it's flush on the top. And let's cut that off. Now when you're using your scalpel, just kind of rest the weight onto the paper. Don't go hacksawing through it. Just rest the weight on it, pull it through, and it won't take very long at all. Nearly there. So no matter what size journal you do in the future, if you want it straight on the ends, that's what you do. That's how you get it nice and flush, looking all posh looking. So you can see, you know, some of the widths. Like that one is our central page, so that's how much it had displaced. I know it's not much. I know that. Right, so that's ready now just to go into our journal, which has gone where? Where are you? There it is. So let's just see if that's looking like it's right. That just looks perfect. So I'm just going to disappear. And, oh no, I'm going to cut my... nearly disappeared on you. I want to cut these out. That does look a bit tall. But, so I'll cut these out, ink around them, and then that'll be another couple of items of ephemera for our journal, which is never going to come to fruition for me because I have made a lot of Edith journals in my time. But not with this ephemera. This ephemera will be sold in my Etsy shop. Not quite sure yet how I'm going to sell it. I think I might bundle it together with some pages from an Edith book and some other Edith goodies. So, you know, you've got a bit of a leg up if that's how you want to make your journal. Okay. So that bit of card there is scrap, I'm afraid, due to the fact I ran over it with my chair. Yes, well, I don't think many things could stand being run over by my chair with me on it. There we go. So I'm going to round those corners because they're quite large. I could make them into tags, but I think they look more like journaling cards. I'm just a bit concerned that this is a bit too tall. I think it might look better if I chopped it off there. So that is in fact what I'm going to do. Just chop it off about there. So that's going to be about 6 1/4 now, which I think is better. Yeah, still looks gorgeous, but just a bit more in perspective. Don't think that's the right word, but it's the only one coming to mind. Oh. Yeah, Mr. F, poor old Mr. F, he's done his back in. Properly done his back in. And he's not feeling great. It's a really painful thing to do, you know. I mean, every time you move your back. So he's in sick bay. And I'm doing my very best to look after him. And still, you know, do videos and... I'm going to say something weird here. Housework. Housework. Yeah, well, there's always some that needs doing though, isn't there? So I'm trying to get all that sorted. And also, if I can, get a video out for you. Well, I prefer doing videos to housework. So these will look really nice when they're stitched around, I think. I might just go around there quickly a second time because that didn't seem to be too dark, not as dark as I wanted it. There we go, little bit of a kiss of the colour on the back. As I say, if you were the one that ends up with these, you can stencil on the back, or you can do anything, can't you? I mean, they're yours. You can do what you like. But a little bit of stenciling on the back I think might look quite nice. It's amazing how much ephemera you can get out of Edith. I didn't realise it was going to be this big of a project when I started. Naively. I don't know why I didn't. It hadn't twigged on me, but it's quite incredible just the amount that I'm getting. I think I might leave it till the end before I split it all up. I don't know. And then I can make sure that, you know, the piles are somewhat similar. Or I guess I could sell the whole lot together. That would be one heck of a journal you could make with that. There we go. Right, so I'm just going to go stitching. I'll pop you on pause. I'll stitch around those two and I'll stitch around the cover of my little booklet. Okay, see you in a sec. So there we are. I've sewn round. The bobbin ran out, of course. It always does, doesn't it, when you don't want it. I mean, does it ever run out at a good time? I don't think so. Anyway, that's the cover of our book. Like so, and here's our two gorgeous journaling cards. Aren't they lovely? Right, so now what we need to do is to sew this into here. Now, this is going to be terribly tedious for all you experienced people, but just cast your mind back to when you were first learning things and how important it is that somebody steps through things with you so you know what you're doing. Doesn't just say, oh, I'll just pop away and do that. So what I'm doing here is I'm straightening up these so they're the level top and bottom, and then I'm going to push that into that fold there of the cover. Make sure that they're equal distance top and bottom if you can, like that, so they're well pushed into there. Now I'm going to take a clip, and if you don't have these little quilting clips, they are absolutely fabulous and they're not expensive. I do believe, well, Nancy certainly sent me some, and then I think I went to Ali and bought a load of them because they are really, really useful. So I've clipped all the pages and the cover together there, making sure that's tight in. Then I'm going to come to the top and I'm going to clip it there. So I've clipped this side and that side, making sure both of them are pushed right into that fold here. So then what you need is something, if you're doing this on your dining room table, please don't do it. But even with my glass mat, I'm using this. It's a piece of a yoga mat, you know, that ladies who look very dissimilar to me, and they're nice and slim and whatever, and they go and do yoga and they have one of these rolled up and that they carry around their shoulder. This was from a charity shop. We've got loads of, I use it to stamp on as well. It's just a protector, really. So what I'm going to do now is take my pokey tool and I'm going to have a look and see where I think the centre is. For this project, that's near enough. For other projects, like sewing big journals in, etc., you might want to measure it. Now I'm going to use 3 holes here, and it's called 3-hole pamphlet stitch. I'll introduce you later on to 5-hole pamphlet stitch, which is the same but just a bit more complicated. So I'm just coming in here a good 1/2 inch from the top and from the bottom. So I've got 3 holes there. One there, one there, and one there. Okay, so that's us sorted with that. So what you need now is something that isn't going to snap on you. Quite thin, not too thin, otherwise it'll tear the pages. Embroidery floss. If you have it, sometimes you can get big baskets of embroidery floss at a charity shop for next to nothing, and the largely colours that you wouldn't use for embroidery, or maybe you don't embroider at all, but they're very good because they're thin and they're strong. So that's my needle. They say you need 3 times 1, 2, yeah, it's about 3 and a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from the inside, this is my centre page, and I'm going to go out through that hole that I made, like that. So from the inside out, and I've got this loose thread now, and I don't want to pull it through, right through, so I'm just going to clip it under that clip to stop me when I pull it tight, it's not going to pull through. Now, because we put the hole in our books when it was like that, it's best if you hold it like that to put your needle back through, and it'll follow that hole. It just will follow it. It's just like magic. So that comes out of there. Now skip your middle one, go up to the top one that you made, push that through. We're nearly there now. It's that simple. And then come back to your middle one and push your needle through there, and there it appears like magic. Now the only thing that you have to be watchful of now is that this long stitch here, you want one end on each side of it. So I'm going to pass that thread under it, and then I've got one on each side. So I can dispense with my needle now. That's done its job. What I'm using is cotton perlé. It's the best I can find, and I just have it in cream, so it kind of matches everything. So now I'm just going to unclip that end, and I'm going to pull those like that, not too tight. I mean tight, but not too tight. You don't want to, and they should sound like that. Now you know they're tight enough. and just do, I think it's called a reef knot, where you left over right, right over left. 1, 2, and it's up to you how long you want to leave your ends. You can leave them that long, and you can put a little charm on them, or a bead or something if you want to. I'm not going to in this instance, it's just a notebook. I'm going to cut them off at about 1/2 inch, something like that. Take your clips off, and there you have it. You've made yourself a book, a perfectly functioning book. What I do now is I take my bone folder and I just knock those holes back in a little bit so they don't look too big, and then just, it's a good idea to just go through your book, open the pages up like that. See, we've got lots of pages in here. It's a really function, isn't that just beautiful? A real functioning little book. There we go. Look at that. Perfect. Right, so let's press on and see what else we can get made today. Right, so I'm going to make an envelope now, and just to take any maths or anything like that out of it, I have got a set of templates that I sell on my Etsy shop. They're not expensive. Some of them I've made quite thick plastic templates with, and they're handy because you can see right through, so you can see what you've got. There's file folders, a coin envelope, a little 4-point envelope, little journaling card, the large coin envelope, slimline window, which I love that one. These are all sort of journaling cards, different size journaling cards that you can just draw around and cut out. This one is a little, transparency holder. And this one is a card to go inside the coin envelope, I think. And there we have the 4.5 by 3 inch envelope. So there's quite a lot in there, and they're useful. I brought it out about the same time as Tim brought his chapter 3 out, and it wasn't to be a copycat. It was just because not everybody can afford chapter 3, and everybody was going on about it, still are going on about it, including myself. And you know, they're expensive. To buy those 4 sets I've got was like £80 or something. I mean, it's ludicrous, really. So I thought I would bring out my own set of templates, and I think they're useful. So this one is called envelope. I think it's envelope large, actually. And I'm just going to put it down and I'm going to draw around it. I quite like the idea of it all being in text. But you have to work out which is going to be the top and which is going to be the bottom. This is how the envelope folds, like that. These 2 lugs fold in, that folds up over it, then you crease it, 3/4 of an inch up where the line is, and you fold that down. That's your envelope. Now I'm going to go for the fact that I think this is going to be stuck into a book, so it doesn't matter whether the back is going, the picture is going up or down. I just want this to be the right going up and this to be right. So you have to forgive me because it always takes me ages to work this out. Let's find one I really, really like. One of these might be nice. This one's particularly nice. That one. Let's use that one. Let's just tear that down into a single page. I've still got loads of this. Loads of it left, and let's put it on there now. Then what you need is the top, the bit that's going to go here. You need that face down and nearest to you, like that, so as when you fold it up it's the right way up. I know it's just a bit of getting your head around it, that's all. It's not difficult, it's just, hang on a minute, what am I doing? And you'd think that this envelope had been made to fit on an Edith book. It's so blinking perfect for size. But that's that. And so this is going to be the top that comes down. And yeah, I'm going to have all that text on it. That's okay, I'm all right with that. So let's draw around this and then we can cut it out. Now the flaps are just a little bit too wide, but that's okay, that's fine. So let's get my pencil, and I'm just going to draw around it. If you do buy the templates, print them out on fairly sort of thickish card, or if your printer doesn't support that, print them out on your ordinary copy of paper and then stick them to card and cut them out from there. I think that's almost at the top. Interesting that that's the exact size, isn't it? Because it certainly wasn't measured to be a part of Edith. It just so happens it is. So there we are, we've got it. So we just need to cut that out. So it's quite simple. Once you've got your head around where you want which bit to be, it really is quite simple. So just cut up to there, and then I'm just going to slightly round that off there. Trim down there because it's the raggy side. And then round that off to there and cut that off. It's really useful actually to have a set of templates like this, and you know, as I say, some of mine, not all by a long stretch, but some I have made into fairly thick acetate, and that's brilliant because you can then hold it over your page and you can see which part you're going to get, which I think is invaluable really. So I'm just taking my time. So I just want to say hello to Sinead. Sinead is new to our channel, and she said that she crafts along with me, which is lovely. Nice to have you with us, Sinead. If anybody else crafts along with me, please let me know. I can say hello to you while we craft. And there we go. So those are scraps. So hopefully this should work. What did I have where? That's that bit. Yes, hooray, that's that bit. And this is this bit. Yeah, lovely. Now I'm just going to put a mark where that line is. So I'm just going to put a mark on the edge and I'm going to score it. So that's there. That's the top bit. Above that is going to be the fold over bit, and that it's easy to see where to score that. It's where the lugs end. So let's get the little scoreboard out. And I want it to fold that way. So let's hope that's lined up. Just a touch more that way, I think. It's always a puzzle getting these exactly right. Some people make a mark, you know, colour in with a felt tip pen or something, a line straight down. Actually, that's a really good thing to do. So this one needs a line as well. Along there, that's where the top's going to get folded, and I'm just going to erase that line because I can see it being left behind, and probably wouldn't see it, but now I know it's gone. And then I need to put a line down where the flaps are. So down there. Straight down there, and one on the other side. I'm not convinced that's exactly square. Try that. That's better. Right, so that's it. I mean, that's, you know, we're cooking on gas, ladies and gents. So actually that's really nice as well, isn't it? But no, this is the side that we said. So let's crease that up to there and score it in, burnish it, that's the word. These come over and get burnished down as well. This one, One of mine is slightly wider than the other. That's because I ran out of page, but it's adequate, you know, it's just to hold that in place. And then this comes down, and this is the top part, and we'll score that in place as well. Okay, so that's the right way up, that's the right way up. When you open it up, that's the wrong way. And if that's going to bug you, use some coffee stained paper to cover it. You know, I've got this absolutely beautiful stuff here that I could cover that with, and it would look gorgeous when you open it. I just think that's kind of a bit of waste of my good paper, although it does look absolutely stunning. I could get it out that way. Shall I do that? Shall I do it? Shall I do it? No, I'm not going to be tempted on this occasion, but I might subsequently. So what I'm going to do now is just stitch along there, and then we can stitch it all together. So I'm just going to stitch along that top bit there. Okay, so all I've done is stitch around there, and I have inked around it. I've spared you watching me do that. So now I'm going to stick this down to these flaps. Don't need very much glue because I'm coming in behind it with some stitching. If you aren't stitching, use a bit more glue. So fold that over there like that. Beautiful, beautiful. Honestly, it doesn't matter what you do with Edith, does it? I mean, she's just wow. She's just wow. So I'm going to have to give that a couple of seconds to dry. I really do not want to drag that through my sewing machine. So in the interim, I'll just go through these templates again in case you are interested. They're quite useful, I think. But obviously, you know, obviously you don't have to buy them. That's the large file folder, folds in half. You can cut some of the shapes that we've got here, the journaling cards, etc. You can cut out of there if you want to. A small envelope, which is the same as the one we're doing now, but small. That's the large coin envelope, and that, as I was saying, you can hold it over a page. If I could find any pages, here they are. And you could, you know, you see instantly what you're getting, and I see instantly that it's not wide enough. So, you know, it just helps you to focus on the bit that you're going to get. So it's a good idea to do that, actually, but not necessary. That's the small file folder, so it is quite a bit smaller than the large one. The small coin envelope, and this is the large coin envelope. The small envelope and the large one. A journaling card, that's what I was saying about the file folder. You can use that, draw around it, and then you've got a window, which can look really nice, actually. I like doing that sort of thing. Then this one, the slimline window, well, let your imagination fly. I really like this. I've used it lots of ways, you know, lots of different ways, and I generally end up putting Tim Holtz peeps behind it. But you could put flowers or a butterfly in each would look lovely, wouldn't it? And, you know, collage around here with ripped paper and stuff. I love this one. A journaling card. This one's marked down as a window, 3.5 by 2. And of course you could use it as a window in any of the templates that you've got there, like that. Or you could just use it, draw around it, and use it as a journaling card or a label, whatever. That's the slide. I'll call it a slide. I think we called them transparencies when I was a kid, but, you know, I think modern parlance, it's a slide. And you just fold it over, and what I tend to do is put acetate behind there, and then whatever you're going to do, then fold it over. And very often I put brads, little brads in each corner. I just like the look of it. But we'll get round to that, we'll do that. That is the journaling card that goes in this envelope that we're making. So that's the perfect size for that. So that's I think that's all of them. If you go to my shop, you'll see, but I'm pretty sure that's all of them. It's a fairly comprehensive little package, get you through most things, bit of interest there. So yeah, I hope you like those, but like I said, do not feel obligated to buy these. I'm sure that, you know, you can make an envelope perfectly easily without buying them. But they're there and they're handy. Right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to guess that glue is dry and put that much on, and I'm going to sew around the entire thing. Like that. Sew around all of that. So I'm going to sew it from this side because this is going to be my nicer stitching. So I'll just put you on pause because all I'm doing is stitching. Right, there we go. I've sewn round it all. If you don't stitch, this is the perfect one for you, really, because these tabs will hold it. They'll hold your envelope. You don't need to stitch it at all, actually. But I like to stitch, so I've stitched. Or you could stitch it before you stick your tabs down. Many ways to skin a bunny rabbit, so they say. Right, so that's that. That just folds over the top. I do like this text here. The only thing I'd say is I need something to keep it closed. So I'm going to use my Velcro dots. You could round the corners, but actually, if it was me, I wouldn't want them rounded because I think I'd probably like to put some lace across there. And if it's rounded, it's just a bit more tricky. It's easier if they're square. So I've left them square. You, of course, if you're making them, you can do what you will. So I'm just going to stick that there and another one there. You could tie a ribbon around it. You guys can come up with things. You're full of good ideas. And then what I'm going to do is stick the fluffy bit. These are actual Velcro. I did get some from Ali. Oh my goodness, they drove me mad. They were thick for one thing, and the other thing was the way they'd packaged them, they all stuck to each other. It was a nightmare trying to get them apart. So that's, just pulled that off with my finger because my finger's gluey. So I'm sticking right sides together, apart from that one which I've stuck wrong sides together. So I've got the sticky side out, fold that down, press onto them, and hopefully they will stick. Let's have a look. Oh yes, perfect, lovely. So they're fairly unobtrusive. You can't, you know, they don't detract too much. And then you can put anything you like in there. Or you could stick it to your page, like that. You could leave that open, which I've done on many an occasion, and just use that to put, you know, maybe some of the things we've made today in it. You know, something like that would go in it. Or our two lovely journaling cards. Let's put those to one side. You know, on your page like that, those sticking out of it, maybe a bit of ribbon in the corner, whatever, and then across here you could, or across here underneath the Velcro probably would be nice. You know, dress it up a little bit, put some lace, put some ribbon, put a label, whatever. But I think that looks really good either as an envelope or as a pocket. So let's shut that up. So what have we made today? I haven't inked around there. How remiss. I shall ink around there before it goes in the basket of completed ephemera. So today we've made a lovely envelope. We've made, oh, that would fit in there perfectly. Ooh, that would be lovely. Let's pop that in there. Does it fit in? Yeah. Look at that. It's like it was made to go in there. That's fabulous. I love it. So, yeah, we made an envelope, and inside it is a little notebook. I didn't know that was going to happen. I'm quite taken with that. So there we are. I left the inside of that because I love the text. We've got different sorts of paper, including beautiful Kyung paper there, and beautiful paper that was a gift from Karen Cooper. So it's quite a nice little booklet, that, actually, all told. I think it looks really nice in there. So I'm going to leave it in there. Close that up with the Velcro fasteners. So that's what we've done, and that and that. Doesn't look like that much, does it? But we had fun, which is the main thing. So I shall be seeing you very soon. One of these days I am going to actually decorate some pieces just to give you some ideas of what you can do with them, although I'm pretty sure you all will have your own very good ideas. But I just can't keep my hands off them. I just want to decorate something. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you very much for your continued support for this project. I know you're enjoying it because you're telling me you're enjoying it, and that's great. Leave a comment, if you want to. I always reply, or I at least always try to reply to all the comments that you leave. And it just interests me to hear what you've got to say, and some of you have got some genius ideas. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you really soon. Bye!